Hi, and welcome to another video by Jim the Car Guy. Today we're going to do a review of a product made by a company called Tacklife. It's a company that makes non-contact thermometers, so you can actually check the temperature of any kind of work that you're doing on the vehicle, whether it's going to be testing the cooling system, testing the temperature of the brake rotors to see if your brakes are applied, or even right down to testing the catalytic converter. You'll need something like this, a non-contact type thermometer. They sent me two of them. One obviously is going to be different than the other. The one, which I believe is called the T05, is a thermometer that's adjustable range. It has a high and a low that you can actually set it as so it will actually give you a warning when you reach that certain temperature. The other one is actually, well, I will open these and show you also, by the way. The other one is a T06. It pretty much is like the other one here. It is a non-contact, of course, but this one is a little different because this one you can actually check for voltage. You can actually see if you have a live outlet on the wall. Just by bringing this up to it and holding it close to it, it'll tell you if there's any current in that outlet. I will bring an extension cord over here and I'll show you how it does work. But all right, let me just give you a little information about this. Whenever you see glasses, you know I'm going to do some reading to you. So, but you know what? Before we do this, let's open it up and let's see what they look like. We're going to do the one that's it's obviously non-contact, but we're not going to. We're going to do the one with that can tell you what the voltage. We'll do that one in just a minute. This is the company. This is the case that they give you for it. Obviously, you can put it on your belt loop if you choose to. Now, you know at the shop. You know what? Let me just show you real quick. Okay, you know from all of my other videos that I actually have this one here, that I've been using this for probably 10, 15 years. It's a really good piece. Again, it's a non-contact also. You see me diagnose catalytic converters with it and cooling system issues. Works really good. This unit, I think I paid about $300 for it. That's a pretty expensive piece of equipment. Not for me, because I use it every day. But for a do-it-yourselfer, it would be a kind of expensive piece of equipment to purchase yourself. This I saw on the shipping label that they sent to me, that they actually have these on Amazon, and I think I saw it on there for under $30. So it's really not that expensive. For a do-it-yourselfer, it'll be actually perfect. Like I said, it can be used for anything to check any temperatures on the car at all. You can also use this to diagnose air conditioning problems. If you have a problem with the air conditioning, you want to know the temperature of the air conditioning compressor, the high side and the low side. You can actually shoot it with a laser beam and you can see what the temperature is for the air conditioning system. So let's open this up. We're at the battery inside here. We need to connect the battery up. Put the battery back in here. Let's close it up. Make sure the wiring is out of the way, of course. Okay. This is the unit here. This is what it looks like on the back. Put my glasses on and we'll look at this together. Okay. Okay, you can adjust it to, oh, this one got a scratch in it. Look at that. Okay. You can adjust it for Fahrenheit or Celsius. Okay, now we're at Fahrenheit. And there we go. We got 59.1 degrees in here right now. Okay, now there is a laser beam in here, and from what let's take a look at the directions here and see what it says. Okay, it says the optimum distance is actually 14.1 14.17 feet, inches, I'm sorry. All right, so we're going to turn our laser beam on again. Now, you can use the laser beam without, I'll point it this way here, without the light, or you can use it like that. You can see the dots on the back wall. Let's do it right here on the here. Now you can see, let's just set this up here. We can check the temperature. It says 14 inches is the optimum, and it also says that when the dots are together is when you get your best or most accurate reading, 61 degrees. All right? So I do have a vehicle over there. We are going to start it up, and I'll show you how this works. But before we do anything with this one, let's open up this other one and take a look at the other one here, which this is the T06. Again, it comes with the owner's manual. You see something right here. Okay, the operating temperature on this is minus 50 degrees Celsius or minus 58 degrees Fahrenheit to 122 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's the range of operation. Response time is 5 seconds. And they say the battery lasts about 12 hours. So, all right. This one, see what this looks like. It's pretty much just like the other one. Okay, let's put the battery back on. Okay, this is the one that does voltage. Let me just show you the difference in them. These are the two. Let's turn this to Fahrenheit. Okay. Now the only difference with this one is NCV. That's for checking the voltage. I don't know exactly what that means. Let's take a look and see. Voltage, it has to be very close. Let me just pull an extension cord over. Okay. That's our extension cord. Let's take a look and we'll see what it is. It says it has to be up to, I think, 0.79 inches away, so it's got to be fairly close. It has to be 0.79 inches away to a maximum of 39 inches. Okay, let's see what it does. Press the button, so it's the NCV, and then we're going to hold it. Let's do this together here. So when it shows you it doesn't specifically say how many volts, but it does tell you when there's voltage in there. Okay. All right, well that's for testing voltage. That's the 06. The 05 is not for testing voltage. But we do have a car over there. We're going to start this car up, and we're going to go in there and we're going to see how these react and how quickly they adjust to the temperatures. So don't go nowhere. I'm going to start that car up, and we'll do this together. Okay, now you can see we're underneath the hood of the car, and we're going to take our first. This is the 05, I believe it is, and we're going to check the temperature. Now remember, you want to try to get those dots so that they're close together. They have to meet each other. See how the dots are now? See how they come together? That's when you get your best reading. So this is 116.7 degrees right now. So we're going to let this run for a little bit, and then we're going to test it, and we're going to see what it goes up to. Now, obviously, that's your oxygen sensor down there. And if you want to check the temperature on the manifold, you can actually put the beams on there like that, and you can see it's 242 degrees. So you can actually check the temperature by your oxygen sensor. Now, obviously you can do that on the catalytic converter too, inlet and outlet temperature, to diagnose a bad converter. All right, that's the one. And now this is the other one. Remember, two dots have to meet. 119.4 degrees, 120, 21, and you can watch the temperature going up. Same thing down here. 285 degrees, so we know the temperature of the manifold itself. All right, let's let this run for a little bit, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to test it one more time before we wrap this thing up. Okay, well, we have the engine heating up. Let's test the catalytic converter, and we'll see how the converter works out. Now, the converter, we're not going to be able to get that close to it, like that 12 or 14 inches like it says here, but we'll try to get as close as we can. All right, so the car is really not that hot right now. We actually just started it up. But as you can see, there's your converter right there. And if we want to check the temperature, I hope you can see this okay. Let's take a look here. You put your beams on there. So you can check the temperature coming in, 127 degrees. And the temperature going out is 100 degrees. Now we're going to get a little closer to try to get those beams lined up. That's a little better. Here we got about 106. And there we got about 138, 139, something like that. Now obviously the car is not heated up, but this is how you would test your catalytic converter. Inlet temperature and outlet temperature. You compare the two readings and you'll know if your converter is good or no good. All right, let's go back up underneath the hood and we'll continue with the engine. Okay, now we heard the truck running for a little while. Now let's test it again and we'll see what the temperature. Remember, you want to try to get those beams till they're touching each other. 154. 152. All right. Now, obviously, you can get to the upper hose and you could touch the hose. You could feel the hose. You know it's warm. And if you needed to check your heater core, sometimes your heater core is in a bad spot. You may be able to get your hand down in there to get to it, but some cars is such a tight spot you can't get in there. You can take this, just put your beam so that the two line up, two dots, and it's 136.2, and it's 154.4. Now, so you know that the heater core is actually, the water is flowing through there, or coolant is actually flowing through there. So that's it. That's how you would test your heater core. These non-contact thermometers are actually really good whenever you're working with a car and you don't want to, burn yourself or try to get in there. It's a tight squeeze or whatever. So, all right, let's get back over by the bench and we're going to talk again. Okay, something else I want to point out too is that these back panel right here, if you want to have the light up, the back lighting, you can adjust that too. It is adjustable. I'll give you an idea. You can see where that one, this one is lit up, and this one is not lit up, the back panel. They're adjustable, so you can have it light up if you want to. If you don't want to, you don't have to. These units also turn off. I think it's after about 10 seconds they turn off by themselves, so there is no off and on button at all. For the price, you can't beat it. You use it one time to diagnose an overheating problem or to confirm a failure in a catalytic converter, and it'll pay for itself 10 times over, especially if it's something to do with the catalytic converter. Like I said, I use a very heavy-duty commercial grade, but for the do-it-yourselfer, this would be perfect. They also tell me, and I don't know if I mentioned this in the beginning of the video, you can use this for home, you can do it for cooking, you can do it for your barbecue, you can do it for anything you want to do it for. It's for home use also. It's not just for a shop. You can use it any place. That's it. That's pretty much it. Any questions or comments, or you need to talk to me about these products, you send me an email. I'd be more than happy to talk to everybody about these things. Also, I'm going to put a link in the description for both of these down the bottom, so you can go onto Amazon, take a look at them, see what they look like, see what prices they are. They're very reasonable. And that's it. Pretty much all set. Every mechanic should have at least one of these in their toolbox, or even a do-it-yourselfer. All right, as always, thanks for watching. Questions or comments, you want to talk to me about anything, send me an email. I'd be more than happy to talk to anybody about anything. As always, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.